Welcome to the third of the previews for tomorrow's racing. We're of course looking at the Randwick card. If you have not yet seen, go ahead and check out the Flemington and also the Stradbroke preview at Eagle Farm in my previous videos. So this of course is the Randwick preview, so let's have a look at that tomorrow. At this stage, they look like they'll be racing on a heavy 8, so there's been quite a lot of rain in Sydney, so interesting to do the wet track form for those races up there. So looking at the first on the card at Randwick, looking at the speed map in this, very hard to line up. Just about all these horses have shown a lot of ability to be on the pace. So for me, look, I'm quite keen to go number 2 Covert Ops in this race. I think it's a bit of a step down in class for this. Face a lot tougher tests from this one. I thought it's run behind Splintex last time out, 2.4 lengths off. Was not too bad. And of course, that horse has come out one last weekend, so pretty good form lines coming out of that race, so I'm pretty keen to go with it second up here. Obviously there hasn't seen a heavy or soft track yet, so that's a bit of an interesting one to see how it goes, but I'm just going to take it on its class. I think it's a bit classy in these ones, so $8.50 is pretty good odds to take, if I'm honest. I think you can go a lot worse than taking that on. In for second, I do like the chances of number 6 Switched. I think of the on-pace run. I thought this horse ran really well on debut at Kembla. Sat just in behind the pace and really put them away really nicely and under little to no riding at all. So I think this horse has got a nice chance as well at some nice odds. So I'm keen to give it a good chance in for second. Of the on-pace runners, I do like number 3, Langiera, of course. This horse was in some good races, probably the top 2-year-old races. In terms of the form lines coming out of this race, besides Covert Ops, you're looking at 1.3 lengths off Loving Gabby first up, last prep at Caulfield. That of course in the Chairman Stakes, and then it was disappointing when it was beaten by Microphone up the Flemington Straight, but then the run after that was only 0.7 length off Mockery, and it was pretty. It was not fantastic in its recent trial, but I do think, based off that first up run last time out behind Loving Gabby, I think it can return to that form and run a nice race. Just a lot of speed it'll have to contend with in this race. In for fourth, I do like number 4 North. I thought it was pretty good winning at Wild on debut. This horse is well bred out of Deepfield. Deepfield's getting an absolute stack of winners at the moment. So keen to see it second up. I think it has a nice chance as well. So just to recap the numbers, number 2 Covert Ops, I think it'd be pretty hard to beat. I've got it on top, off barrier 1. I think I might just settle back in the ruck and let all the speed play out in front of it and charge over the top of them. In for second, I like number 6 Switched. In for third, number 3 Lanigera. And in for fourth, number 4 North. Race number 2 on the card, 3-year-old benchmark 74 over 1,800 metres. Looking at this race, a little bit of speed in this race. I think It's Lily will go forward off barrier 5. Statuesque will be forward. Costas will be quite prominent, as will Stardome and Commander out of the outside barriers. Look, I'm a big fan of number 2 It's Lily. I think this will run a really nice race. I think the form lines are really good coming to this. You're looking at coming out of a 1.4 length fourth behind Atana in the Magic Millions Roses. Now that's elite form for this sort of race, so I really like its chances on top, and I've seen the wet track twice on soft going and has won them both times. And this horse only missed a placing once, and it was in that race, so it's a consistent horse. And for me, each way odds is just screaming back at me, so you've got to go with it. So I've got it on top to beat. In for second, I do like number 5 Statuesque. This horse is flying at the moment and racing in some good form. Beat the informed Burgeon last time out at Warwick Farm in a midweek race, but prior to that, run really nicely as a $1.50 favourite, being Alburn Boy at Kembla. So I think this horse can improve off those 2 runs, the maiden and the 68 rated race, and can run a good race once again here on the speed. We'll get all the favours to run it well. If a third, I like number 11, Think It Over. This horse has seen a wet track once and had the 1 placing. I thought it was pretty good behind Nobu last time out, who of course is running up at Eagle Farm. So I think the form line behind it's not too bad, and was point over length off Occupy at Scone in Class 1. So it's been there or thereabouts. Only missed the placing, has not missed the placing at all this prep, and first preparation in a debut run was 4th. So this horse does know how to be in the finish. So I think it would do that once again here. In for fourth at a bit of odds, I do like number 7, 18 Carat for Chris Waller. A little bit disappointing last time out behind Statuesquely at Warwick Farm, but prior to that it was only 1.3 so Fun Fact, and of course Fun Fact went and won a group race up at it was Eagle Farm a few weeks ago, and it was also running up there tomorrow, so in a much better race than this. I think if it runs up to that sort of race, it'll run pretty well here, so I've got it in for fourth. So just to recap the numbers on the second on the card. Number 2, It's the Leon Top. In for second, I like number 5, Statuesquely. In for third, number 11, Think It Over. And in for fourth, number 7, 18 Carat. Race number 3, 1100 metre, 3-year-old Class 3 race. This is, of course, the Tab Highway. As always in these meetings, a stack of speed in the race. Just about all of them would be, quite a lot of them would be going forward. I'd say all the horses off the inside, probably off barrier 1, 3, 4 and 5 would be quite prominent. Madam Pauline, of course, backing up. Look, I think Bradley will be prominent, of course, former Hayes and Dabney runner. Another Sin, Charlotte's Heart, Nevada Dane. Yeah, so these races always have a stack of speed in them, and usually the horses just off the pace in midfield or towards the back win these races. So for me, just hang on just a sec. I do like the chances of number 9, Madam Pauline, if it sits just off the pace. I thought it was a really good run last time out, and look, it's drawn to get all the favours really. There's a lot of speed around it, so it should be able to find a nice spot. Might want to roll forward and sit midfield. I think that'll be up to Christian Reith what he does there, but I thought that run was just really good last time out, and it can improve off of that. I've gone into the... Yeah, so that was, of course, it was just narrowly beaten by Lifesaver, who I was really happy with. I got that at the $9 odds. That was really good last time out. But yeah, this time around, look, second up stats pretty good. It's had 1 win second up, and I just think it's got a great chance here. $3.80, nice odds. In for second now, this is paying big odds, but number 14, Rev It Up Red Nut, I think can run a nice race. I thought it didn't do too well last time out, first up behind Lifesaver, but its first up form's not great. Second up form's really good. It's had 2 starts, second up for 2 placings, so I think it can improve off the back of that. Has a lot of speed in the race to come on into, so I actually think it'll run a really nice race in for second at the $41 odds. In for fourth, I do like number 3. In for third, sorry, I do like number 3, Irish Songs. I thought it was close up to Lifesaver last time out and close up to Madam Pauline, so it's a big danger to the favourite Madam Pauline. And again, all the speed on, it'll be able to enjoy that speed and really come off it and run nicely. And the extra 100 metres will suit. So I like his chances in for third. In for fourth, this horse paying big odds, and it's number 12, Brew Radley. As I mentioned before, former Hayes and Dabney runner. This horse been running pretty good. It carried the 60 kilos at Wodonga in a 58 race, and was pretty disappointing on pace. But prior to that, finished 2.5 lengths off at Albany as a $2.80 favourite, and this horse has often been around the money. So I think on class alone, this horse should not be paying $81 really. I mean, it could be up to winning this sort of race, but from what I've seen so far, I just couldn't put it on top. But I've got to have it in the numbers in for second. I think $81 and $18 a place, huge odds, and got to take that. So just to recap the numbers on the highway race, on top I like number 9, Madam Pauline. In for second, I do like number 14, Rev It Up Red Nut. In for third, I do like number 3, Irish Songs. And in for fourth, number 12, Bradley. Race number 4, 2400 metre race, so benchmark 78. Looking at the speed of this race, not a whole lot of speed. I'd say Plymouth Road, Free Fly 2 will be prominent. I don't think Free Fly 2 will lead as such, but Letter to Juliet will also go out at barrier 4. Carol 4 Longbow might be up there, so Fanciful Toff will be prominent off the inside barrier. I'm sure they'll use that maybe to box seats. So not a whole lot of speed in the race, and as such, I really do think it'll set up really nicely for for number 4, Fanciful Toff for Kieran Eustace with Sam Clipperton in the saddle. It was a really good win last time out, beating Battle Camp. It was sat just off a bit off the pace and ran really nicely there. Taken up to beating, had a bit of a spell between those runs, so interesting that to read on that. Last run was 19th of May, so a few weeks ago now. But I do think it's got a really good chance to win this race. I think it gets all the favours off barrier 1, not a whole lot of speed in the race, so it'll be hard to beat. In for second, I do have number 10, California Longbow. I think this horse was really good beating Mr. Madrid last time out. It's had a bit of a spell since then. Mr. Madrid, of course, racing up at Eagle Farm tomorrow, so high opinion of that horse. So I think it can run a good race, California Longbow, at nice odds. In for third, I do like number 12, Terwillico for Anthony Cummings. This horse I thought was extremely impressive winning at Gosford. Won by 6 lengths on that occasion. And prior to that, I mean, you're looking at 0.2 length off Miss Moana at Newcastle. And if you look back to last prep, it ran in some nice races. And I just think that carrying only the 49 kilos of Brock Ryan, getting the 3 kilo claim, it's a real key. And I just thought that run was just too good to leave out at the big odds. Well, sorry, it's not big odds anymore. It's $5.50 now. Sorry, thinking of a different horse. It always has been that price. But anyway, back to it. I think that it's got a good chance to run a good race at the lightweight. In for fourth, I do like number 8, Ombudsman. I think it can improve. Gets the rain-affected track, which it doesn't mind. It's had 1 win from 4 goes on rain-affected goings, and that was, of course, on a soft track. If it gets downgraded to a soft tomorrow, give it an even better chance. But look, it was a little bit disappointed by Wolf last time out, but prior to that, it was only 4 lengths off Naboo, and I think that's pretty good form coming into this. Been really well backed as well. It opened up at 16, it's now $5, so got to be really interested in that. Look, no knock on Flea Fly too. I mean, racing great form. I think this is going to be a bit of a hard race. It was backing up off that Hush Rider race last week, which I was absolutely ecstatic about because I did back Hush Rider at the big $30 odds, and I was a bit disappointed to make a video for it because I would have been absolutely ecstatic to have lent you guys into that tip. But regardless, look, I think if it can bounce back to the perform prior to that run, it can run a good race. And another horse that is paying huge odds is Dukan. I think this horse will run really good race. Doesn't mind the rain-affected going. He's run plenty of races on it. And it's coming out of Group 1 company, a 5th behind Shorroa, which is pretty good form. So I think you couldn't go too bad going each way with that as well. So it's a bit of an open race, this. And just the only thing with Dukan, it's got to carry 62 kilos and it's got to come from barrier 13. So it's going to be a big win to get up. That's the only reason I didn't have it in the numbers. But I really respect that group form coming into this. So just to recap the numbers, number 4, Fanciful Toff on top. In for second, I like number 10, California Longbow. In for third, number 12, Terwillico. And in for fourth, number 8, Ombudsman, with a real watch on Dukan, number 1, the toppy. Race number 5, 1200 metres, fillies and mares, benchmark 78. Have a look at the speed in this race. Not a lot of speed. I think Call Me Royal about to call all the shots for this. Kunamara and Iron Kalani, I expect them to use the inside barriers to get forward. Gen Rules will probably tuck in behind the speed. For me, $2 about Call Me Royal, I think it has to be right. Like it's going to have all the favours on pace. It's been beaten narrowly twice now. I think it can get the job done this time around, so I'm really happy to be with it on top. To beat number 4, Tanika, I was really keen on this last time out. We ran really well, charged home late behind November Man. The only problem is it's going to have I was really keen to back it this time out, but was not going to have the speed to chase on. This horse does like the rain-affected going. It's had 3 goes on soft for 2 wins and a placing. It missed a placing on its only heavy track run, but I think second up here, run a nice race off the back of that flashing home run. I expect it to flash home once again. In for third, I do like number 11, Gen Rules. I think it'll be seen just in behind the pace and can run a good race. Come out of the form line behind Strome, and prior to that was 1.3 lengths off Laburnum. That was a huge race in the JHB Cars Stakes. There's some good form coming out of that. So if it can return to that sort of form, I think it can run a good race here. Number 11, Gen Rules, and doesn't mind the rain affected going. It's had 3 starts on soft for a win and a placing, and 2 starts on heavy for a win and a placing. So can't go too much wrong there. I think it'll be in the finish. Number 11, Gen Rules. In for fourth, I do like number 2, Gongs. This horse is backing up from, sorry, not backing up. It was 2 weeks ago where it finished 2.2 lengths off Charlene. Really closed off nice in that race. Third up here. Doesn't mind the soft goings. Never won at this track though, and never placed, which is a little bit of a concern. But I think Gong's got a bit of ability on these. So if it can show up and show its ability, I think it can possibly be a knockout chance at $7 odds. But I'm very happy to have number 6, Call Me Royal on top. In for second, I do like number 4, Tanico. And for third, number 11, Gen Rules. And in for fourth, number 2, Gongs. Race number 6 on the card at Randwick. We're getting through them pretty quickly now. This is, of course, the start of the quaddie. Quite a pretty nice benchmark 78 this, to be honest, over 1200 metres. Checking the speed map, Love Shack Baby and Bring It Home Pop off barriers 2 and 3, I think will be quite prominent. I'd say Ronstar, simply optimistic, and Handfast will be forward on enough out of the outside barriers. For me, I'm pretty keen to back number 9 Metamorphic here. I think it's paying nice odds. The only problem is it doesn't like the rain affected going, but I thought that run behind Metavina with the 60 kilos last time out was really impressive at Canterbury. And second up stats are really good for this horse. So look, I'm going to trust that it can maybe get through the rain affected going this time around. We'll have to wait and see. But I think $8 odds not bad to find out. So happy to have it on top. To beat number 3 Ronstar in for second, I think it's got a good chance. It was a really good run behind. It ran in a tougher race than this, beating it was 8 lengths off Zoo Style. Now that doesn't sound that impressive, but the format of that race really good. You're looking at the likes of Plate Stone in that race, also has come out and won well since. So I do like the format of that. And prior to that, it beat up Trumps well at Warwick Farm. So Ronstar's got a good chance on the pace. In for third, I do like number 5 Diodoro for Gary Portelli. This horse is first up, doesn't mind the rain affected going. It's had 2 wins on heavy tracks from 3 starts and a win on a soft track from 4. So the horse doesn't know how to doesn't know how to handle the rain affected going. I thought its recent trial was really good. Beat Encryption on that stage is not a bad feat, and first up stats are good. So I do like Diodoro's chances at against some nice odds in for third. In for fourth, I do like number 1 Smart Edge. I think it's got a bit of class on these, and its recent trial was really good. It's beaten by Poetic Charmer. Those two are real eye catches. And Poetic Charmer a little bit disappointing last week, but still was a nice run. I think this horse can fire first up. Has had 2 runs on the soft going for 2 placings. First up stats are pretty good for 4 starts, 1 win, a second and a third. So it doesn't mind the track. It's had 3 places on the track from 4 starts. So for me, it's a good chance, but I just don't like it as the favourite first up personally. With not a lot of pace in the race and 60.5 kilos to carry. So just to recap the numbers, I like number 9 Metamorphic on top. In for second, I like number 3 Ronstar. In for third, number 5 Diodoro. In for fourth, number 1 Smart Edge. Race number 7, this is a list of June stakes over 1100 metres. Really good race, this one. Looking at the speed on the map, bottom E off the inside barrel, probably use it to be prominent. I think Spinning to Win will be quite forward. Brook Magic, Noble Joey, I thought so. Barrier 7, 8, 9 before, and Heart Conquered will, of course, go forward from, or will attempt to from a barrier 11, or perhaps might just tuck in behind and get a bit of a breather. Look, for me, number 9 Deprive is hard to beat. I made up one of my best bet 2 weeks ago, and it scored so well. That was an unbelievable run, absolutely. We were going from ripping our hair out to all of a sudden going absolutely mental. It was a fantastic ride. But for me, I just can't quite back it at $2 odds. I think this horse, number 1 Kaepernick, has got the class on these, and it's just paying massive odds. I mean, $16 for this horse is a bit silly in my opinion. Sam Clipperton in the saddle. First up, last preparation was 1.4 lengths off Egyptian Symbol in the Gold Coast race, and then it came down and finished 0.8 length behind Eckstein in Group 3 company. It finished 1.8 lengths off Ball of Muscle, and of course Redzell was in that race as well. 6.3 lengths off Nature Strip, that was on heavy going, and I thought his trial race was quite good as well. So look, the heavy going, it's if it comes down to a soft, I'll be even keener on it. It's had 2 goes of heavy and not placed, but on a soft, it has had a win and a place. I just think this horse just comes in so well. Its first up stats aren't too bad. It's had 12 starts fresh for 3 wins, 3 seconds, and a third. But it's not going to get a better chance than this. So I think this field's a lot weaker than what it is used to facing. It's got to carry a lot of weight on top of these, but I think it can handle it. It's the class galloper in the field, and $16 odds is just stupid for me. So I've got to have it on top to beat number 9 Deprive. Again, no knock. I loved that run last time out. It was a sensational run, and this horse done not much wrong. He's only missed the placing once from 8 starts in his career. It's had 3 runs at the track for 3 wins. So it loves running here at Randwick and doesn't mind the rain affected going. Good second up stats. So keen to have it in there. I just couldn't back at $2 odds. I'd prefer to go with Kaepernick, the more proven horse. In for third, I like number 4 Bonami off the inside barrier. I think we'll get a really nice run in the race. First up stats fantastic. 4 starts for 3 wins. Doesn't mind the rain affected going. It's had 1 win on heavy from 1 start and 1 win on the soft ground off 2. The trials have been good coming in, and so I think it could run a really good race, Bonami, at each way odds as well. In for fourth, I do like number 7, She Knows It, a bit of odds as well. This horse loves running it here at Randwick. He's had 7 starts at the track for 3 wins and 3 placings. Doesn't mind a rain effect track either. It's had 7 goes on soft for a win and 4 placings, and 5 goes on the heavy for a win and 2 placings. So this horse doesn't mind the soft going. It's going to have a bit of favours, and you're looking at some of the races being in 4 lengths off to Pride. Now I don't think it can turn the tables on that, but I think it'll be running on and being the finish. But prior to that, it was 3.5 lengths off Viridine in a listed race, 6.4 lengths off Avantage, and 0.2 length off Easy Eddie. And interestingly, that was on a heavy track. So if it comes back on that heavy track once again, it might perform and run nicely at the $20 odds. Got Mike Cale in the saddle. He's absolutely flying at the moment as a jockey. So just to recap the numbers: number 1, Kaepernick on top, huge odds. Just it has to be a great bet for me on this field. In for second, number 9, Deprive. In for third, number 4, Bonamine. In for fourth, number 7, She Knows. Race number 8, open race over the 1600 metres. Again, really nice race, this one. Look at the speed map. But say only Gresham and Zorkan are the guaranteed leaders. I'd say another dollar will be probably prominent. I'd say Taking a Turn, Universe might, especially Taking a Turn, it might go forward from the outside barrier. But not a whole lot of speed in this race. And as such, I think number 9, another dollar will be really hard to beat if it's close enough in the run. I thought it was really good charging home late behind Spun Largo at Flemington. Prior to that was only 0.4 length off Fastnet Tempest. So third up here, I think it's going to be ready to go. And this runs at the mile again. I'll be interested to see when once it gets back up to the further distance. This horse, of course, I mean, you look at this time last year, it ran 0.1 length behind Youngstar in a Group 1 3-off fillies race, and was only 1 length off Youngstar again in a Group 2. So, and then prior to that, over on the mile, it was in a 3-hour race, it was 1.3 lengths off Torville. So returns that sort of form, it wins this race for me. $9.50 is a really good bet, and I'll be very keen to have it on top. I think it'll beat number 11, Zorkan, who, as I mentioned, will get all the favours on the pace. Didn't do so last time out when it was beaten massively by Archidemus in the Hawkesbury Gold Cup. Won't get that sort of pressure this time around. I think it could run a good race. Loves the heavy track, and that's the big key. To have 4 starts on a heavy for 2 wins and 2 placings. On the softs, had 6 goes for 2 wins and 2 placings. So it loves the heavy going. And you look at its first up run over the 1400 metres. It was beaten 0.3 length of by Star of the Seas on the heavy going. So it'll improve coming back onto the wet tracks and having all the favours on the pace. So I've got it in for second. In for third, I do like number 5, Star of the Seas. No knock on this horse. Again, loves a heavy track, as I mentioned. 2 starts for 2 wins. And 2 starts on a soft for 2 placings. This horse has not missed a placing, so I expect it to be in the numbers once again. It was really good coming off from the back last time out to win. It was a sensational run. This horse got a lot of ability, and I expect it to run a good race once again. In for third. And then in for fourth, I do like number 15, So You Win, down the bottom of the weights. Brock Ryan will get a 3 kilo claim. This horse only carried 49.5, and it's a real danger. It was a real good win at Rose Hill last time out. Got the split nicely. For me, it's never had to go on a heavy track. That's the only query, but carried the light weight, and this horse got a bit of ability in my opinion. So I really am keen to see it run a nice race as well. So just to recap the numbers on the 8th of the card. Number 9, another dollar on top. In for second, number 11, Zorkan. In for third, number 5, Star of the Seas. And in for fourth, number 15, So You Win. Final race of the card over the mile, 5th benchmark 78. Looking at the speed in this race, I'd say Quackerjack, Pandemonium, Musha Rave will be looking to get across those outside barriers. I'd say Prometheus will be quite forward, as will Monsieur Sisu off barrier number 3. So a little bit of speed in this race, not a whole heap, and a lot of the main chances subsequently will be looking for the pace, so be on pace. So it's interesting to have a look at that. But for me, I like number 12, Shakora. I think this horse can improve off its run. It's behind Strome. I thought it was a really good run last time out. Third up here will suit. And for me, off the inside barrier, I'll just get a nice run into the race. And $15 odds pretty good to take, in my opinion. So I like to have it on top ahead of number 18, Primitivo. This horse been forgotten about a little bit. It was beaten by Devil's Lair last time out at $8.50 odds. But this horse doesn't mind a soft rain-affected tracks. Had 2 starts on the soft for a win and a placing. So I can see it running a good race at nice odds, really. $12, Jay Ford in the saddle. In for third, I do like the chances of number 2, Quackerjack. It's paying $2.20, which for me is just way too short with all the speed in the race. Does like the soft going though, so it's had 2 starts on the soft for 2 placings. Of course, it was only just nudged out last time out by Colding, who of course goes around as a favourite at Eagle Farm in the... Hang on, let me just pull that up. So just gone straight over my head which race that was. It's the Guineas. Sorry, yeah. So it's going around in the Group 2. Queensland Guineas is the favourite. So I mean, you've got to respect that. So Quackerjack's got a good chances. For me, I just wouldn't take it at $2.20 with all the speed in the race. I think it'll be pressured. Carry 6.5 kilos as well, but it's got a good chance. So I've got to have it in the numbers in for third. Even fourth to do like this, I'm interested in this horse, number 5, Jack Regan. This horse has come across in the UK. I like the Bus and Young team have just gone straight up to Sydney for the heavy track, and I think it'll get through the wet going. So it's a bit of a chance at nice odds of $13 there. So a bit of an interesting runner there. Might have to look at the mounting yard for that one. So just recap the numbers on the 9th on the card. Number 12, Shakora on top. I think this horse just got a nice chance off the inside barrier to run a good race. In for second, I do like number 18, Primitivo. In for third, number 2, Quackerjack. In for fourth, number 5, Jack Regan. So that's the Randwick preview. Go and check out my Flemington and Eagle Farm Stradbroke previews. And good luck if you're following tomorrow. And I hope you have a successful day on the punt and a good long weekend.